Hi everyone, welcome back to the Storytime family. How are you today? Did you have a busy day at school? I hope you learned lots of interesting things today. And thank you for taking the time to sit down and read with us. Today we have a book called Lines, Squiggles, Letters, Words by Ruth Rocha. Shall we get started? Lines, Squiggles, Letters, Words. Pedro was often amazed by how funny the world is and how many things are in the world, by all the things we understand and all the things we don't. From his window and along the streets, Pedro saw all kinds of posters, billboards, and signs. He could understand some of what he saw, like the pictures of tigers, apples, and roosters. But there were other pictures that Pedro didn't understand, like the little signs on each street corner. What's that a picture of, Mom? It's the street name, his mom would reply. Pedro looked and looked, but didn't see a street name. All he saw was a bunch of drawings. One day, Pedro's mom told him, "Tomorrow you will be starting school. You will learn to read, and you will understand many more things." "What things, Mom?" Pedro asked. "Well, to begin with, the letters and numbers you are always asking about." The next morning, Pedro and his mother set out early for his first day of school. When they got to the corner, his mom said, "The best way to get to school is on the bus." "Which bus are we going to take, Mom?" Pedro asked. "The one that will take you straight there." "But how do you know which one that is?" "I look at the sign in front. We want the one that says Rio Bonito." When the bus arrived, Pedro said, "I don't see any Rio Bonito." Instead, he saw a sign with some drawings that looked like this. Pedro's mother smiled, and they got on the bus. Pedro's teacher was tall with round glasses. She showed the children a big colorful poster. "A is for apple," said the teacher. "A is for apple," the children repeated. The teacher wrote a big A on the board. When Pedro left school, he had a big surprise. Suddenly, he saw that the signs, billboards, and shop windows all had his teacher's A. Everywhere Pedro looked, he caught a sight of an A. He tugged at his mother's skirt. "Look at all the A's on the wall." His mother laughed. At home, everything Pedro picked up had an A on it. His parents' newspaper, the laundry detergent, even the tube of toothpaste. The next day, Pedro's teacher put another poster on the wall. D, 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 said the teacher. D, 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 the children recited. D is for day, D is for dice, D is for duck, D is for dog. The children repeated again and again. When Pedro left school, he looked at all the signs and billboards. Among other squiggles and lines, he saw A's and D's his teacher had made. Can you spot the A's and D's? When Pedro got home, he ran to tell his dad. Dad, guess what? When I'm at school, they paint the books, signs, packages, and walls with the letters I'm learning. His dad smiled. That's because you're learning how to see, Pedro. But I've always known how to see, Dad, ever since I was a baby. That's true, son. But now through your letters, you're starting to understand more of what you see. Pedro scratched his head, wondering what his dad meant. But the miracle continued to happen. Each new letter Pedro learned appeared everywhere he went. On his way home from school every day, Pedro looked eagerly at everything around him. And there were his letters, popping out from signs and packages, buses and poles. One day, when Pedro was walking home, he looked again at the sign on the street where he lived. Rua do Sul. Putting together the letters he had learned, Pedro made out a name he already knew. Rua do Sul. Suddenly he understood. Everyone, I can read. The next day, when Pedro and his mom arrived at the corner, his mother said, Pay attention so you don't miss the bus. Don't worry, Mom, Pedro said. I'm not going to miss it because I now know how to read. When the bus arrived, Pedro hopped on and happily waved goodbye. And that was lines, squiggles, letters, words. Hope you enjoyed the story. If you'd like to own a copy of this book, the links to purchase it is in our description below. Thank you so much for joining us today. And if you haven't, do subscribe and click on the bell for more stories like this. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.